welcome back to my channel. So today is One Take Friday and I'm going to be talking to you about one topic in particular, and today I'm going to be talking about the different jobs that I've had and how I got to the place where I am today. So I want to really make this quick and to the point. So I started off in probably grade 11 with my first job. I worked at Hallmark card store, the greeting card store. I think they're in America, I'm in Canada, so it's just a greeting card store and they have giftware and all of that. So it's sales and I did cash and everything that goes along with that. I think that this was a perfect starter job for a teenager. You know, I got some income and I was able to work evenings and on the weekends, and I actually saved up enough money during this job to pay for a trip to England that I went on, and I saved up all of that money, and I actually saved up for most of the money to buy my prom dress. And so I worked there for I think 2 summers, maybe, I don't know, maybe a year. And then I took a little bit of time off and I finished high school, and I didn't go to college right away. So I kind of took a year off and I started my second job. I did another hospitality, not retail job, hospitality job. I worked at a small takeout Italian food restaurant, and I think this job was great for me because it gave me a lot of skills and knowledge about this, the food industry, and just simple tips and tricks and recipes of how to make food and serve food and deal with customers and people. And I really like this job, and I think that I would probably still work there if I didn't want to further my career, because at a certain point I left this job and I went to college for the career that I wanted to pursue. And so I really didn't want to leave that job. I loved the community and the place that I was in. It was in the market in the town that I grew up in, where I'm from, and I loved it. And even if you go back there today, a lot of the same vendors and shops are still there, being run by the same people. And I think it was a great experience and a great place to work. And this job and the first job that I had, I actually got hired on the spot and like worked almost the next day. So I think that was really cool. And the second job that I got right after college, I didn't work through college, I stayed at my mom's house, and so I kind of saved up some money from my second job to go to college and to pay for some of the things. And then after that, after college, I had my second job. And so I'm kind of backtracking and going side to side, but I did my college in early childhood education, and so my third job, I worked in schools and like kindergarten classes and all that as a teacher's aide. And I liked that. I think if I would have got a full-time position, I would have got more comfortable at that. But then I moved away. I moved to a different town very close to where I'm from and where I grew up. But then I got a job in a daycare, and I worked there for 6 years. And I just recently left that position because now I'm a stay-at-home mom. After I had my son, I was able to stay home, and I love it. So that's kind of how I, you know, started from the bottom. And so I loved working at the daycare. It was something different every day, even though it's taking care of children. You know, I did different positions while in that same daycare. I worked in different ages, different age levels, doing different things. You know, you can go outside, you can, you know, get messy, you can play, you can go on field trips, you can go on walks. You know, I liked that part of it. I never thought that I was going to be someone to go to university. So I went to college, and really just looking at the list of programs and classes that the college offered that was close to my town, there was really only one option. And to me, it was no brainer. I knew lots about children. I took care of children. I babysat. You know, working in the church nursery, you know, I helped out a lot, even with like Sunday school classes and stuff like that. So to me, learning even more about child education, you know, it was a no-brainer. It was easy to me, and it also challenged me. And so I think that's important, and that's why I stayed at that job for so long. And even when my children get older, that's something that I'm going to go back to, because I feel like that is my career and something that I'm passionate about, because I am a mom, and when I started that position I was not a mom, but I think it changed my perspective once I had children. You know, looking at both sides, I really enjoyed it, and I was sad to leave that position, but I'm also glad at what I'm doing now. I'm able to stay home with my children and just be here, because I kind of missed out that part when my daughter was young, when she was this age, the same age as my son now. I was working, and I was a single mom, and I kind of missed that part. You know, I seen her lots because I was her mother, but working, having a young child is really different than staying home. You know, I loved both. I loved working and providing and doing all of that, but I also love staying home. And so that's kind of how I started my first job, and now where I'm at today. And I still consider it a job because I'm busy, you know, I'm taking care of the children, taking care of the house, and doing all of those things, and I don't regret it, because I am one day going to go back to work, and then we'll see how and where that takes me. So really, I've only had 4 jobs, but that was from when I was like 17 to now I'm, you know, 28, so that's, you know, 11 years. So, and I went to college during all of that. So some people have lots more jobs than that. Some people only have like 1 job or 2 jobs in their whole life, but that's okay, because doing those jobs I learned exactly what I wanted. And I even remember thinking, even though I loved those jobs in the moment when I was there, but I remember thinking there was always something else that I would rather do. You know, waking up in the morning, dragging yourself to work, getting to work, you know, you always think that it's gonna be better when you're there, but sometimes I would just think in my head, there's things that I would rather do. You know, I would rather scrub toilets, I would rather do anything but be here. So kind of being in that mindset brought me to where I am today. You know, you kind of have to, you know, do the nitty-gritty stuff, and I went to college and I did all of that, and then I found out what I really wanted to do and what I am going to go back to do. You know, like when my kids are older, like I said, I maybe not be in the same daycare, but I'll be doing the exact same thing, working with children, and that's what I enjoy doing. So this is a big ramble. This is almost 9 minutes long, but if you like this type of video, please give it a thumbs up. I hope that I didn't go on and ramble too much and get off topic, but if you want to see more videos like this, please feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!